Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I'm Chloe, and I look after brand advocacy activities at Lenovo for EMEA, and I'm here to ease you through the mid-afternoon slot. So, got my clicker, perfect. I know it's dark out there, but firstly, maybe a show of hands for anybody who has a tattoo of their favorite brand on their body. As I thought, no one. This guy does. He's a top Lenovo brand advocate, part of our elite group of superfans called Insiders, and at a recent event, he felt compelled to ink our heritage brand on his forearm. Displays of love and loyalty like this might seem a tad extreme. They're not typically the measures of success we would look for when taking our fans to events with us, but we are looking to forge these human connections, give our brand advocates live experiences that they then tell in their own words and their own stories to their networks. This, for us, is a powerful vehicle and one our brand uses to strive to reach newer audiences. A familiar quote from Scott Cook, co-founder of Intuit: "A brand is no longer what we tell consumers it is, it's what consumers tell each other it is." I know we're all aware of that, and we've heard a lot about it today so far. Certainly, marketing used to be in total control. Once upon a time, you crafted your story about your brand, products, and your company, and you controlled how it went out in a relevant and exciting way. Now, the audience wants to be part of telling that story, and that provides us with an opportunity to make it relevant for them. So who are we, Lenovo? Possibly another show of hands if you had heard of Lenovo before today. Okay, that is fantastic. Actually, certainly for me, in the 6 years I've been at Lenovo, the look of recognition in people's eyes has increased over the years, or when they ask me who I work for. But still, for a leading global PC brand, we are relatively unknown. We started here. Yes, really, our founders had their first meetings in this guard shack. And only 10 years ago, we were still a business PC company. We didn't sell in retail. We didn't even sell consumer products. So since purchasing IBM's PC division in May 2005, Lenovo has evolved a long way to become #1 in combined PC and tablet sales in the world. We cover a large product portfolio, our Think and Yoga brand PCs, also smartphones. We acquired Motorola brand in 2014, plus servers, workstations, tablets, apps, software, you name it. The point is, we're a young company and we're in permanent transformation, and we all started here. We want to stand out in this sea of sameness, where products, although they might be different on the inside, they all seem to be packaged the same. We want to leverage our innovation and break this mold. Lenovo created the first convertible form factor, the Yoga multi-mode PC that turned from laptop to tablet. We now sell 1 out of 2 convertibles in the world. We developed the innovative Moto mods for the Motorola smartphones, and the Fab 2 Pro device was the world's first smartphone device enabled with Google Tango's AR technology. So we want to leverage our innovation and make an impact. Our aspiration as a brand is to be a strong global premium brand that people really talk about. Similar brands and our competitors often opt for clean, simple look and feel with product-led creatives. But in our differentiation, we're bold, lively, and unexpected. And thank you, Andrew, for the mention of we are disruptive. That's definitely where we want to get to. And we want our brand experience to be 3 things: customer-centric, disruptive and shareable, and co-owned with fans. And so we want our advocacy programs to match. Whilst it might not be new or pioneering that we take media and journalists to trade shows and events with us, it is possibly new that we give our fans the same opportunity, and we create dedicated programs for them. So at Lenovo, as I've alluded, we have different superfan communities or advocacy programs. And whilst they do target different profiles, they have one goal, and that's to empower our customers and advocates. Empowerment, I think, is key to fostering advocacy. We've got our global insiders, as I mentioned earlier, by way of our tattooed fan. This is our exclusive community, access all areas to our products, our people, and actually our executives as well. And in return, we ask for content creation, community participation, and regular engagement. We have 72 forum advocates. These guys are certified online moderators who support engaging our customers and mainly provide tech support. Our approach for superfans is a little broader. We give them a framework, but their barrier of commitment is lower. We don't ask a regular content creation quota from them, for example. And we do find that the content, therefore, they do create is more authentic and more engaging. They're creating and engaging more from the outside and in. We strive to inspire them and not prompt them. I run Lenovo Champions, which is our dedicated brand advocacy program for superfans at Lenovo, Lenovo Europe, Middle East, Africa. It's an online program designed to nurture these relationships and harness the people who use and love our products for brand awareness and influence of purchases. So influencers, for us, influence is still the gray area. As we've discussed throughout the day, and influencers are really a mixed and evolving category. They're full of different profiles, from vloggers, bloggers, YouTubers, writers. And I think for us, the challenge is to really find that sweet spot where you have an influencer who creates impact for your brand, but isn't just engaging with you for money. And these guys are less easy to profile, and they can appear in any of the three categories or none. Certainly, we have some in our Superfans program, which is made up a lot of gamers, ThinkPad enthusiasts, lifestyle bloggers, and such. So I'd like to tell you a bit more about Lenovo Champions, which is really, I guess, my baby in the last 2 years. 2 years ago, we were really ramping up our focus on customer centricity. So I was tasked with looking to recruit current fans of Lenovo and to reach other untapped audiences and give them a voice to be heard. Through their kind of content creation, sharing, and discussion, and a lot of buy-in from some of the local marketing teams, we really took off and grew into new markets and encouraged valuable engagement, rolled out into different territories. However, it's not a perfect program. It didn't launch as a perfect program. The story behind it is, at first, it was an open program, an open platform. Users could self-identify and register as superfans. And this was great at gaining critical mass, which is possibly what you need to start. But of course, it hurt our engagement numbers. We found that users registered to the platform and didn't come back. You need a very strong value proposition. You do need a what's in it for me to really grab their attention. So we tried doing this through turning points for activity into prizes. In relation to the presentation earlier, we did adopt a bit of a gamification model, and we gave goodie bags and merch away for certain levels of status achieved through point scoring. As you can imagine, whilst engaging some, this really discouraged others. We found that not everybody wanted to share our content to their channels just for points. So we also found that we weren't in total control, or we weren't in control as much as we needed to be. A point system is easily abused. Users were manipulating and dictating their status to us as our superfans. For example, there was one superfan who demanded he had the right to attend Mobile World Congress with us because he'd achieved a platinum status purely through spamming and sharing of our content on the platform. And for me, this was a very pivotal moment in realizing this points equals prizes approach wasn't working, certainly not as a centralized model, and it wasn't a true spirit of our program. So I did a bit of a data hygiene exercise and removed inactive users, those who weren't engaging. We massively lost in quantity, but we gained in quality. I then surveyed this group. I simply asked them what they liked, didn't like, wanted to hear more of. And one outcome was to gate the platform. It was to make it exclusive and by invitation only. At the same time, I removed the emphasis on the point system, and instead, we started to give reward and recognition, or kudos, to those who valuably participated and contributed. And the result was kind of obvious and simple. Fans really appreciated being heard. That's what they truly value. And now we have a quality group of fans who we can do a lot more with. And we've seen an increase of interaction and engagement and discussion as an outcome. So this quality group of fans, we like to take the engagement offline as well. And we do this at large European tech trade shows, such as Mobile World Congress and IFA. These shows allow our brand to get our latest products into the hands of as many media influencers and fans as possible. They also allow us the perfect stage to host our own product launch events, to which we invite our exclusive guests to. But not only do this, we go one step further and create a dedicated program, separate to the media program, for influencers and fans. Because whilst money can buy you a good-looking booth at an event, to really create connections and get your fans familiar with your products, you need to deliver a brand experience or an experiential activity. So what do I mean by experiential activities? We want to educate beyond a product demo or a brand presentation. We want our advocates to live an experience and bring our brand and products to life in a meaningful way. So here we were in Berlin at a graffiti workshop. We'd recently relaunched our brand and our logo, and this was back in 2015, and it was actually our first experiential activity, our first influencer program. We'd launched a campaign called Hack the Logo Online, which invited our customers and fans to play with our logo, bring it to life in their own expressive way. So we took an existing campaign and put it in a graffiti workshop in Berlin. And at the same time, we were using the term Goodweird in our external communications to express the design differences in our products. Hashtag Goodweird was a brand mindset. It described how we embraced all things different and unique in the world, and at the same time encouraged us to innovate a little further, inspiring us to be a little bit weird. We won a Sabre Award for our appearance campaign in Berlin that year, of which our immersive graffiti experience played a large part. I'll just show you a short clip of some of the group who were with us, the insiders from all over the world, who describe to us what Goodweird means to them.
Hi everyone, my name is Jasmine from My Berlin Fashion, and my idea about the Goodweird is to use the yoga products actually as something unexpected and to make it a twist. Like, you use a tablet as a photo frame at the wall, which is actually not what you bought it for. So you're actually free to get inspired by everything of the Lenovo world, and that's the Goodweird for me.
If we think computers, there are also a lot of good weird things that could happen there, and I would especially like to see self-cleaning computers, because I think that's a big problem today, and a lot of people put a lot of time in that, and if we could automate that, that would be a little bit weird, but maybe good also.
Goodweird is something that looks weird, but in a good way. Something like Lenovo SmartCast. It's a smartphone that gives you an opportunity to work with a keyboard on a projection on every surface.
Okay, so sorry that wasn't quite as sexy as the grime music experience you had earlier, but to Barcelona Mobile World Congress 2016, we wanted to create another Goodweird experience. So we ran a go-car experience, and we took 20 of our advocates and our fans in go-cars around the city. Slight health and safety hazard risk, but we were trying to be Goodweird. And we took them on a route of Gaudi's architecture. Gaudi, for us, was a classic example of a Goodweird artist, someone who pushed boundaries. He was ahead of his time, and his classic, recognizable look and feel really defined a city. And we were drawing on these parallels between Gaudi and our products as we just launched Yoga 3 Pro, an entertainment tablet with an integrated projector, upon which we shared a presentation of Gaudi on the back wall of a van in a garage before we set off. So at IFA 2017, IFA 2016, in fact, we just launched the Yoga Book, which is a 2-in-1 tablet which gives the user a paper-like writing experience on its Create pad at the same time as having a fully functioning keyboard. I wanted to create an experience around this product So we took the group on a treasure hunt in the city of Berlin and assigned them mission as secret agents to recover the stolen yoga book. They worked in teams, they solved clues and accomplished tasks to recover the yoga book, which its thin and sleek form was hidden amongst other book spines in a library in the city centre. We incorporated content creation into the tasks to ensure that our fans and advocates were engaging online as well throughout the day. Our current campaign is different is better, and this term we use to describe our ideas and our products as being purposeful and different, but for the sake of being better. So taking this notion, we ran a photography tour in the city of Barcelona for MWC 2017 in Barcelona with professional photographers as we just launched Hasselblad Mod, which when snapped onto the back of our Motorola smartphone gives a camera experience to create 10 times optical true zoom. We ran a social competition with these guys under the hashtag #DifferentZoomsBetter, and they were engaging online throughout the day, posting their favorite photos to Instagram and Twitter. So we were giving them our products, they were creating their own content using our products and generating branded social engagement for us too. This year, most recently, IFA 2017, just gone a couple of months back, the activity day was the day before we actually launched our latest product. So I had the challenge of creating an activity around a concept rather than a product. Mirage, which is our AR headset in collaboration with Disney and Star Wars, was under very strict embargo. So I decided to create an activity around a concept and tease the forthcoming launch of the AR products, and found the perfect place to do this at Games Science Center in Berlin, which was an independent startup company, kind of a tech hub on the cutting edge of technology. And I gave them a teaser of the future of AR and VR at this exclusive exhibition. And sticking with the AR theme, we also downloaded an AR app onto each of their loaned Moto smartphones, through which they watched real historical footage at the site of the Berlin Wall. So alluding the whole time to the AR and VR launch throughout this activity, we're also showcasing innovation as being kind of the heart of our DNA. I think maybe it's obvious, but most simply of all put, is be human is my main tip. I think putting a face to a brand and showing your customers who the real people are behind your products is something you can't underestimate. For a proof point for us is the feedback we receive, the direct feedback, survey feedback, and online. We also use NPS score to gauge how likely it is fans will recommend us. And from these 4 trips over the last 2 years, we're averaging an NPS score of 75. So ultimately, we're creating, again, human connections. We're forming relationships with and bonds with people. And this allows our local teams in countries, our PR and marketing teams, to maintain these relationships and do local activations too. I think arguably local activations are possibly more valuable than the large trade shows that we do, because they can create a lot more advocacy locally. And they can also allow our teams to leverage a wider population of the Lenovo Champions community, for example, rather than the select few that come to the bigger trade shows with us. And our Italian team did this. They hosted some Lenovo Champions in an apartment in Milan for 2 days and gave them an experience with our brand and our products and introduced them to the Lenovo Italy team. And they also enjoyed tech hub experience activities. And a videographer purely for the interest of time, I'll pause it there, and I can always share that with you at another time. But, okay, slightly cliche, but how long is a piece of string? This is a phrase used to indicate that something can't be given a finite measurement, similar to the question, how do we measure success, and what does success look like? Certainly, return on investment, which we've touched upon a lot today, return on investment of advocacy activities is not easy to measure. We're trying to look at the brand impact that these guys have for us, and encouraging your advocates to genuinely, authentically, and organically create content and tell your brand story is a long-term commitment. It's a slow burner, and it's all about relationship building. That said, there are some parameters that we can and we do track. One of those is social engagement. We track, for example, we monitor the trackable channels of our influencers and advocates at our trade shows to see how many posts they create on behalf of our brand or with us over that time, and what engagement those posts generate. So the more shareable and memorable moments we can give them, the more likely we are to increase those moments being shared across social. So for us, shareability is a critical measure of success. We ask ourselves, is it disruptive? Is it shareable? Which becomes important. So for you, you have to decide what your metric would look like. But for example, at IFA 2017, the metrics were for 16 advocates and influencers who came with us from across the world, some of whom were Lenovo champions, as I've mentioned. Over less than 3 days, they created over 900 posts mentioning our brand. This generated over 27,000 organic engagements with the potential impressions of 13.6 million. So strong social metrics are great. They're by no means the be-all and end-all. They're one type of advocacy. Social engagement's one type of advocacy. They're great at creating conversation, reaching untapped audiences, and reaffirming brand loyalty. But there are conversations and interactions that happen that affect your brand's perception that aren't as easily trackable. So when we're looking for suitable targets to take to these events with us, we don't overlook a fan through a lesser social reach, because we're more than aware that they will have networks, offline networks, and influence that we can't track and we can't measure. So for us, being a customer-centric company, we are focusing our programs around them as well. I apologize, this isn't the latest slide I shared. I did have a recap slide, but I can do that anyway. Ultimately, customers and fans look to align themselves with brands who share the same values and ethics as they do. So understanding your customers' aspirations is key to improving your business. Owning your brand experience, as I said, we want ours to be customer-centric, disruptive and shareable, and co-owned with fans, and then bringing it to life in a disruptive and shareable way, and a memorable way is key. And never underestimating the elements of delight and surprise. Different is truly better, and that's an ethos we aspire to really stand apart from our competitors. And being human, putting your face to a brand, showing our customers who the real people are behind your brand. What's next for Lenovo? We're going to be continuing to listen and learn to our customers and advocates, having these conversations with them to improve time and time again kind of what we do. I'd like to grow and expand into new markets. So the Superfans program is in 6 countries at the moment. I'd like to reach other markets across EMEA, all the time tailoring to ensure that they make sense locally and they resonate locally. And ultimately, in being a customer-centric company, we want to deliver positive brand experience, one that our advocates and fans will want to share. I'd like to leave you with a quote that I quite like from Todd Deffrin about the importance of moving from engagement towards advocacy. Thank you very much.